What if I told you there is a cheese that wriggles because it is literally alive? Or a wine aged with newborn mice swimming in it? Around the world, culture and cuisine are inseparable. But sometimes, what's considered a delicacy in one place might be seen as downright criminal somewhere else. This is Cultural Cuisine or Culinary Crimes, where we uncover the world's most outrageous, controversial and bizarre dishes that will have you wondering who even thought of eating this. From the icy shores of Iceland, where shark meat ferments underground for months, to bustling Southeast Asian streets serving duck embryos with feathers and bones intact, to South American jungle blends that include live frogs. This is not your typical food show. Welcome to Connection Station, where curiosity meets culture, and your taste buds get a global reality check. But before you gag or judge, remember, what might make you squirm might be someone else's treasured tradition. Behind every dish is a story of survival, of ceremony, or of simple culinary curiosity. So buckle in. Some of these dishes are ancient, others are banned, illegal or fading with time. But all of them unforgettable. This is food at its weirdest, its wildest, its most human. Welcome to Cultural Cuisine or Culinary Crimes. Let's take a bite into the bizarre. Our journey begins in the heart of rural Thailand, where the forests hum with activity and the delicacy comes from the treetops, meat and egg soup, a traditional dish from Iceland, Thailand's northeast region. It is made with, you guessed it, ant eggs, embryos, and even a few baby ants for a citrusy punch. But this is not just shock food, the flavor tangy, buttery, and rich thanks to formic acid, a natural compound found in the ants themselves. Locals often combine the eggs with lemongrass, chilies, and herbs for a warming broth that's surprisingly light and packed with protein. What might look like bug soup to outsiders is actually a seasonal delicacy, deeply connected to Thai agriculture and sustainability. One bite, and you are tasting more than soup. You are tasting tradition, resourcefulness, and a flavor evolution thousands of years in the making. From the steamy heat of Thailand, we now journey to the frozen shores of Iceland, where survival once meant eating whatever the Arctic gave you, even if it could kill you. Meet Hakarl, fermented Greenland shark, a food so pungent, even Icelanders joke about it. But this is not just any fish, it is toxic when fresh. That is right. The Greenland shark's flesh is filled with natural toxins that can shut down your nervous system. So how do you make something deadly edible? You bury it. Traditionally, the shark is beheaded, gutted and buried underground, packed in gravel and left to ferment for up to 3 months. The result, the toxins break down, but they leave behind a powerful ammonia stench like bleach meets old cheese. Once unearthed, it is hung to dry for another few months, sometimes in wind, whipped wooden huts that dot Iceland's coast. This is not a quick snack. It is a 6-month transformation from poisonous beast to national dish. The final product is sliced into little cubes, usually served with a shot of Brennivin, a strong Icelandic schnapps nicknamed Black Death, and the taste. Most first-timers describe it as horrifying. It is sharp, sour, with a texture somewhere between rubber and jerky. Anthony Boudin called it the single worst thing he ever ate. But ask an Icelander, and they will tell you it is not about taste. It is about tradition, survival, pride. In a land where little grows, Hakarl represents centuries of ingenuity, finding a way to turn something inedible into a cultural icon. So next time you are in Reykjavik and someone offers you a cube of Hakarl, take the bite. If nothing else, you will earn some serious street cred. Nestled in the sun-soaked hills of Sardinia, there exists a cheese so controversial. It is illegal in most countries. Meet Casu Marzu, which literally means rotten cheese. But that name barely scratches the surface. This is not just fermented, it is alive cheese. But then, the magic or the madness begins. The cheesemaker intentionally introduces cheese flies that lay their eggs inside. When the larvae hatch, the maggots digest the fats, breaking the cheese down into a soft, spreadable paste. And yes, you eat it with the maggots. As you spread it onto bread, the tiny worms wriggle and leap. Some diners wear eye protection because the maggots can literally jump. Others wait until they crawl away. But purists say it's best while the cheese is still moving. The flavor, rich, creamy, and sharp, like the strongest blue cheese you have ever had, but with a hint of funk that only live fermentation can create. But why? Why eat a cheese infested with bugs? For Sardinians, Casu Marzu is about respecting heritage, resourcefulness, and the complexity of flavor through nature's own bacteria. It's been made the same way for centuries, passed down through generations of shepherds. Though banned by the EU for health reasons, locals still make it quietly, sharing it at weddings, festivals, and family tables. It might sound disgusting, but to some, it is a delicacy worth celebrating, even if it crawls. It is late evening in the Philippines, and the streets come alive, not just with music and mopeds, but with food. In the glow of flickering streetlights, one dish stands out, warm, mysterious, and often whispered about. This is balut, a fertilized duck egg, incubated for 14 to 21 days, and then boiled with embryo and all. Inside, a partially developed duckling, tiny bones, a beak, and maybe some feathers floating in a savory broth. To many outsiders, it is the stuff of dares and YouTube challenges. But for Filipinos, balut is comfort food, late-night fuel, a street snack with soul. Eating it is a ritual. Crack the top, sip the warm amniotic broth, peel the shell, salt, vinegar, maybe a chili, and then down it goes. The texture, a mix of soft yolk, tender meat, and a slight crunch from the bones. The flavor, rich, umami, unlike anything else. But this dish is not just about eating something extreme. Balut is tied to Filipino identity. It is affordable, protein-rich, and woven into generations of tradition sold on every corner, especially after dark. In a culture built on resilience, balut is about using every part of the animal and embracing what others shy away from. So is it bizarre? Maybe. But for millions, it is a warm taste of home. Deep in the heart of South Korea's seafood scene, there is a dish that literally fights back. Say hello to Sannakji. Live octopus, freshly chopped and served, while the tentacles are still moving. Sounds like a dare. For men, it is. But for locals, it is a delicacy rooted in freshness, tradition, and thrill. The process begins with a live baby octopus, pulled straight from the tank. It is quickly diced, then served instantly, with the nerves still firing, causing the tentacles to writhe and curl on the plate. But here is the twist. Even without a brain, the tentacles can still grip with suction cups, clinging to your chopsticks or even your mouth. That is why it is not just exotic, it can be dangerous. Diners are warned to chew thoroughly, as improperly swallowed tentacles have caused choking. It is typically dressed with sesame oil, sesame seeds, and served as part of a traditional meal. So, why eat something still moving? In Korean food culture, freshness is king. The movement is not just a spectacle, it is proof that the seafood is as fresh as it gets. And the flavor, mild, slightly briny, with the satisfying chewiness that's uniquely addictive. For some, it is about bragging rights. For others, it is a celebration of life, death, and the raw line between. It is not for the faint-hearted, but then again, none of these dishes are. In a corner of China, there's a delicacy so unusual. It is as much about belief as it is about flavor. Say hello to virgin boy eggs, boiled eggs cooked in the urine of young boys. Yes, you heard that right. But this dish is far more than just a shocking food trend. It is a centuries-old tradition rooted in health, vitality, and luck. The origins of virgin boy eggs lie in Dongyang, Zhejiang province, where the practice has been passed down through generations. Here, the urine of prepubescent boys is collected and used to cook the eggs, which are believed to have medicinal properties. The eggs themselves are soaked in the urine, then boiled until they take on a distinct brown, dark color and are infused with a strong, pungent flavor. Some say the eggs taste sweet, others say it's acquired, with a mix of salty and earthy undertones. But why the urine of young boys? In Chinese medicine, urine is considered a potent remedy, believed to balance yang energy and promote longevity and health. The boy's urine is thought to carry this pure energy, making it the perfect ingredient for cooking these eggs. Locals swear by the health benefits, claiming that eating the eggs can boost vitality, improve circulation, and even ward off illnesses. For tourists, it's a shock. But for those raised with the tradition, it's a dish that connects them to their roots to culture, history, and ancient practices. It may sound strange, but virgin boy eggs are a reflection of the profound ways food intersects with beliefs in different cultures. So if you find yourself in China, do not be too quick to judge, because behind every bizarre dish, there's often a deeper story. From China's virgin boy eggs to Thailand's ant egg soup, we have tasted the bizarre, but now we are in Belgium, where the next dish is steeped in history and rich, deep flavor. Meet Boudin, Belgium's version of blood sausage. While sausages are a staple across Europe, Belgium takes it a step further with this distinctive dish made from pork blood, fat, and a mix of herbs and spices. It's not for the faint of heart, but for Belgians, it's a traditional comfort food. The process starts in local butcher shops, where blood is collected fresh from slaughtered pigs and mixed with breadcrumbs, onions, and various spices. This dark, hearty concoction is then stuffed into casings and cooked to perfection. When served, Boudin has a dense, satisfying texture with a deep, savory flavor. Traditionally, Belgians enjoy Boudin with mustard, alongside crispy fries, or even in a sandwich. In fact, it's often paired with a Belgian beer to cut through the richness. The history of Boudin is centuries old, stretching back to when every part of the animal was used to prevent waste. It's a nod to resourcefulness and self-sufficiency, made with ingredients that would otherwise be discarded. And while this dish might shock some, it remains a beloved symbol of Belgian heritage. In fact, it's so ingrained in the culture. You will find it on the menus of small towns and celebrations across the country. Whether you are dipping it in mustard, adding it to your fries, or savoring it with a pint, Boudin is a taste of Belgium's past, served up on a plate. You have probably had some strange foods in your time, but have you ever dared to eat a deep-fried cockroach? In Thailand, fried cockroaches are not a joke. They are a real delicacy. These crunchy critters are sold at street food markets all over the country, where they are deep-fried in hot oil, transforming their once-dreaded bodies into a crispy snack. Served on skewers or in small portions, they look almost like a familiar crunchy snack, only with a lot more legs. The preparation is simple. Cockroaches are cleaned and deep-fried until they are golden brown and crispy. The wings, legs, and body are all intact, making it clear what you are about to eat. And that is the part that freaks most people out: the crunchy shell and the fact that it is an insect. The taste. It is often described as crispy and salty, with a slight earthy flavor. The texture can be compared to chips, but with a little more crunch. It's a flavor that some locals love and tourists find hard to forget. Eating fried cockroaches is a part of Thailand's long tradition of insect cuisine. Insects like crickets, grasshoppers, and yes, cockroaches have been a reliable protein source for centuries, especially in rural areas. They are a quick snack, rich in protein, and packed with a unique savory punch. For tourists, the experience is often a challenge, a chance to step out of their comfort zone and embrace the exotic. But for locals, it's just another tasty treat in the vibrant tapestry of Thai street food culture. It might not be for everyone, but if you can stomach it, fried cockroaches are a true test of your culinary daring. If food had a villain origin story, this one would be it. Welcome to Taiwan, home of the world's smelliest snack, Stinky Tofu. If you have ever walked through a night market in Taipei and wondered what died nearby, chances are it was Stinky Tofu cooking. The smell hits you before you even see it. A powerful, nose-wrinkling mix of rotten cheese, sewage, and something mysteriously funky. But here is the twist. People love it. Stinky tofu is a fermented tofu dish, typically soaked in a brine of milk, vegetables, meat, and sometimes seafood, then aged for days, weeks, even months. This fermentation gives it that signature smell and a complex, rich flavor underneath the stench. Once it's fermented to perfection or maximum offense, it's deep-fried until golden and crispy, served with spicy chili sauce, pickled cabbage, or garlic vinegar. It is a dish of contrasts, stinky but delicious, crispy outside and creamy inside. Locals swear by it. Some say the stinkier the tofu, the better the taste. It is not just food, it is a point of pride, a rite of passage, and a benchmark of culinary bravery. Tourists, they are often seen holding their noses while daring each other to try a bite. Some gag, Others grin through the tears. But one thing is for sure, no one forgets it. If you thought your green juice was hardcore, Peru would like a word. In the high-altitude markets of Lima, Cusco and across the Andes, there is a drink that puts kale smoothies to shame, frog smoothie, also known locally as jugo de rana. It is made by blending an entire live frog with water, maca root, aloe vera, and honey. The result, a frothy, earthy tasting drink with a reputation that goes beyond the blender. Locals believe it is an aphrodisiac and a natural energy booster, praised for improving stamina, fertility and respiratory health. It's part of traditional Andean medicine, where ingredients are chosen not for taste, but for their perceived power. Now before you run for the hills, the frog is typically a Telmatobius, a species found in cold Andean waters, and it is said to be especially potent when freshly blended. That is right, they are alive right before they go in. The smoothie has a thick texture, an herbal flavor, and a strong wow, I am really drinking a frog kind of vibe. Some people swear by it, while others cannot even look at it without cringing. But make no mistake, for many Peruvians, this is not a dare, it is a tonic, a tradition, and sometimes even a part of daily routine. So, if you ever find yourself in a Peruvian market and someone offers you a green drink with a serious kick, ask what's in it. You might be just one blend away from the boldest sip of your life. Crunchy, zesty, surprisingly delicious, meet Chapulines, the beloved grasshopper snack that's hopping its way across Mexican markets, stadiums, and street corners, especially in Oaxaca, where it is practically a culinary celebrity. These little guys are more than just a gimmick. They are packed with protein, seasoned to perfection, and have been eaten here for centuries. First, the chapulines are harvested from local fields, often by hand. Then they are cleaned, toasted, and fried until crispy, and finally tossed with an addictive combo of chili powder, lime juice, and salt. The result, a spicy, tangy crunch that hits all the right flavor notes. You will find them in market stalls, football stadiums, and high-end restaurants. They are eaten by the handful sprinkled over tacos or served as bar snacks with a cold beer. Locals love them, and tourists who dare to try them are usually surprised by just how addictive they are. Some describe the taste as nutty or smoky, with a satisfying crunch. I am eating a bug moment. You are in for a treat. Here is your chance to win exciting gifts and hampers. Answer this question in the comments. Which of the following is considered a delicacy in Iceland? A. Frog smoothie. B. Ant egg soup. C. Boudin. D. Hakarl. Comment your answer below. Share this video with 5 friends, take a screenshot, and send it back to us via the link in the description box. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel to win amazing prizes like smartphones, laptops, or even cash. Let's see who gets it right.